everybody, it's Ann Kaplan from Mom Me, your parenting resource from conception to college. Wherever you are in your mothering journey, we are here for you. And I'm sorry for my wibbly wobbly camera. The Facebook likes to trick me and make me wonder if I'm actually even making a video or not, but I am. So I'm really excited to be making a video because this week's theme is work-life balance. And one of my friends just gave me a little crap for it because she said, we don't call it work-life balance anymore. That's so blasé. Now we say work-life integration because work-life balance doesn't exist, which I kind of agree that work-life balance doesn't exist, but I really don't like the term work-life integration, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. But anyways, that is the theme, whatever you want to call it, having a job and having a life, especially when your life involves being a mom. Whatever label you want to put on that, it's hard. And I want to talk to you guys this week about how to make it possible, how to maybe take a deeper look at what's going on in your life and even decide, like, where are you going? Is this working for you? And talk about just how we can make our lives work when there's more parts to us than just being a mom and more parts to us than just having a job, whatever your career is, okay? So let's talk about today just a few little ideas to get your mind started and problem solving on how to make your life a little bit easier if you're working. And this is regardless of whether you're working inside your home when your kids are home with you, like I do, if you are working outside of the home, if you're part-time like I am, or full-time, those kinds of things. Regardless, whatever one of those scenarios you're in, we're all challenged to feel like we're showing up for our kids when we want to be showing up for our kids, to feel like we're totally present and engaged in our jobs when we are, to remember why we're doing either of those things sometimes, and to not perpetually carry this feeling around, which I know I've had before and I hear from my clients all the time, which is, I feel like I'm doing everything at once and I'm doing terribly the whole time. Well, guess what, guys? If you are doing everything at once, you are doing it terribly the whole time. And that is why I can't really even count how many times I've said in these groups and to my clients and in the Whole Woman Happy Family program, quit multitasking. And that is my tip 1 for you. And you know what? This week I was looking for articles to share with you guys about work-life balance. And the first one I came on, their first tip was multitask. And I'm like, no, delete, definitely not sharing this article, because when you multitask, you are dividing not only your time and your energy, but your brain, your attention, your thoughts. Like, you suck at everything when you're multitasking, okay? So my first tip to you guys is time management / multitasking. Literally sit down. I'm going to show you guys. I just take this up and I'm showing it to you anyway. This is the calendar that I had. I was just at a business program this weekend, and they had us sit down and make a weekly schedule for ourselves. And guess what? We weren't allowed to write more than one thing in any of the squares because multitasking is a big load of BS. And it's this trick and lie we tell ourselves in our heads that because we're women, we're really good at multitasking, and so we can do it and we can do it super well. And we know that that's not true. You know that's not true, you guys. So cut it out. Stop multitasking. And so when I start working with my clients in Whole Woman Happy Family, one of the first things we do is sit down and we make a schedule, and it's hard at first. It's hard to make a schedule that has all the details of your day, and that's just fine. If you can just do this one part right now, divide your time between work and not work. Give yourself permission to have times of your day, preferably more times in your day than not, when you're not working. Because what happens when you don't have those boundaries is that you feel like you're neglecting your job when you're with your kids. And you feel like you're neglecting your kids when you're with your job. And that feeling sucks. And that is the big feeling. That's the one overarching feeling that I hear all the time. And it's the one overarching feeling that makes us so unhappy in our jobs and in our home life. So the multitasking has got to stop, you guys. Make yourself a calendar. This clearly is not rocket science. This was printed out of an Excel spreadsheet, I guarantee you. And guess what? It was super helpful to me. So get yourself a schedule. Stop multitasking, and you don't have to be super detailed. Just divide your time between work and not work, okay? That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is delegate. Delegate. And that doesn't necessarily mean hire someone to do all of your work, get a personal assistant, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that stuff's great if you want to do that, go for it. And it also doesn't necessarily mean, well, if you're a single mom, forget it because you have no one to delegate to. Delegate means to anybody. You can delegate to your kids. What a novel concept. What if your kids started pulling their weight around the house? Is that possible? I assure you it is. Trust me, we'll talk about it when chores is the next topic. Delegate to your kids. Give them ownership. Remember we talked about morning routine? Give your kids ownership for their morning. Give your kids ownership and consequences for the things that you just simply do not have bandwidth for anymore. And if you have a partner, definitely delegate to your partner. And I guarantee, I don't even know you. I haven't even met you. I don't even know who's watching this video, and I can still guarantee with almost 100% certainty, with very few exceptions, that your partner is not doing as much as you are in the house, and that has got to stop. Delegate, delegate, delegate. How many working moms do I know who are on dual income families and might even be the primary breadwinner in their home and still are the ones doing the lion's share of the domestic work, taking care of the kids, making sure the house is cared for, all that stuff? It's an epidemic, you guys, so delegate. And if you can't delegate, ask yourself why that is. That's inner game stuff that we will work on if we were working together. Okay, so delegate. And third tip, you guys, make your life easier, okay? Working and having a family is really, really, really hard. I want you to just think about this. Just do the math, okay? Having a child, raising one child is a full-time job. Having a home and managing a home, that's a full-time job. Now you have a job. Maybe it's another full-time job, or maybe it's even just a part-time job. It doesn't matter. You're one person, and you've decided to put to yourself 3 jobs. It's not going to work. It's not because you're inadequate. It's not because you're not doing enough. It's not because you're not getting enough sleep or you're not organized enough or any of that stuff. It's because it's humanly impossible. Which segues into my last tip for you guys, which is drop the guilt, okay? You're not failing your kids. You're not failing in your job. The only thing you're failing in doing is valuing yourself enough to recognize that you've set a task for yourself that's humanly impossible and then spending your entire life flagellating yourself for it. So make your life easier. What does that mean? What does make your life easier? It means it's okay. Do it the easiest way. You have a job, so that means that you have a little bit of money coming in, hopefully. That can enable you to do things like hiring a cleaning person. Get some done-for-you food options like, I don't know, like Blue Apron or a local food supplier. Get prepared foods that are still healthful at the grocery store. Like, do the things that are going to make your life easier, okay? Hire a nanny. Get an au pair. I wish people would get an au pair, because let me tell you this right now. This is my secret golden juicy tip. If you are working full-time and your kid is in full-time daycare, it will actually be cheaper for you to have an au pair than to put your kid in full-time daycare. That means that it would be cheaper for you to have someone who lives in your home, takes care of your child, takes them to work, takes them to school, takes them to activities, cooks for your kid, does your kid's laundry, and you don't have to drive your kid anywhere or take your kid to childcare or any of that stuff for less money than it costs to put your kid in daycare. That is true. So consider getting an au pair. That's a little segue from my make your life easier tip. So what were the 4 tips today, you guys? Delegate, quit multitasking, make your life easier, parentheses, au pair. And the 4th tip, the most important tip, drop the guilt, because you guys are setting yourselves an impossible task. We are setting ourselves an impossible task and then feeling like failures when we can't do it, okay? It's not possible for one person to have 3 full-time jobs. Just not possible. I'm an amazing mom. I am amazing at my job. I know that, but it's not possible for me to do all of those things by myself with no help. I just can't do it, and I never will. So I hope that that's helpful for you guys. This week, we're going to keep talking about work-life balance. And what I mean is that on tomorrow, my Baby Mama Day, Wednesdays, I'm going to be talking about working while you're pregnant. When should you quit your job? When you need to go on maternity leave? How much leave should you take? Know your rights about what maternity leave is, and how can you listen to your body to kind of answer all of those questions. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. And Thursday, we're going to be talking about the bigger question that comes up all the time when I'm talking to moms about work-life balance is, do I even want to do this job? Have you gotten to that point sometimes where you're just like, what about if it's just not even worth it anymore? You might be surprised with what we talk about on that one, and that is going to be on Thursday. And if you're in the private Whole and Happy Family group, my special awesome clients, we're going to be talking about mom judgment when it comes to work, because I know we're all doing it. So that's what we've got in store for you guys this week. I love you guys so much. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you guys give yourself some grace today. Bye.